1045 The Team, your home for New York Yankees baseball. Now we're going to get a little help from out in the Boston area. You can hear this guy on 98.5 The Sports Hub. You can follow him on Twitter at Keefe21. Rich Keefe joins us. Rich, are fans just salivating in Boston right now, waiting for their final chance to maybe get a good booing on A-Rod?
Oh, absolutely. Last night at the game, I don't know if you guys heard it, but fans were chanting, "We want A-Rod, we want A-Rod." Just really upset that they didn't get a chance to see him, especially after the announcement over the weekend. You thought, all right, this guy's got 4 or 5 games left. 3 of them are going to be in Fenway. So, I don't know. After what Joe Girardi said, I thought we were going to see him in all 3 games. Now it sounds like we might only see him once, but I'm sure fans going to that game are certainly going to make up for it and give him one last good boo.
So is that it, Rich? Like, do you think it's just, all right, this guy is kind of a legend even though he's a screw-up, and we want to see him, or is it just straight up, we got to get a booing?
Well, you know what? It's interesting with A-Rod because he's so much different, as you guys know, than Jeter, Rivera, even other guys like Posada. Like A-Rod himself, one of the great players of all time, but he's not. I still don't feel like he's that Yankee, right? Where you get into an argument as a Red Sox fan with other Yankee fans, and you're like, oh, A-Rod's the worst, and then the Yankee fans like, yeah, he kind of is, and then so you're left saying, you have a hard time really arguing that because, and maybe I'm wrong, I feel like Yankee fans never really fully embraced him. Now,
that's true.
No,
it's true.
Series that helped, but for a while he was sort of a kind of an outsider. But it's more the persona, I think, off the field that fans want to just sort of let the guy have it one last time. It will be interesting, though. I wonder if he'll get cheered just in the sense that, you do recognize what a great player, 3-time MVP, all the home runs, all the everything else. I think they'll get a little bit of a cheer, but then there'll be plenty of booing.
I mean, the big debate in New York right now is, will he or does he deserve a monument in Monument Park at Yankee Stadium?
Well, you give them to everybody else, don't you?
Hey, come on now. Come on. Are you guys going to honor him out there?
I think they said there's going to be no big to-do like they did with Jeter or with Rivera, but I'm sure there'll be something on the jumbo screen and that kind of thing. Maybe before the game, he and Ortiz will have some sort of interaction, but it's not going to be a big production. Could
it be a prize fight? I would love to see those two just go gladiator on each other.
That would be great, except I think they're like friends. That's one thing. As much as everybody loves David Ortiz, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love David Ortiz here. One thing over the years that he has caught a little bit of flack for is being friends with everybody. Like, going out to dinner with Robinson Cano before a Red Sox-Yankee game, or just, having a good time on first base talking to Teixeira or whoever else. That's one thing that he's sort of been criticized a little bit for.
We're on the phone right now with Rich Keefe of 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston. It's 1045 The Team, your home for Yankees baseball. Now, the Sox looking like the far better team this year, but you guys are known for tearing it down one year to build it up the next year. When you look at the moves the Yankees have made this year, does it remind you of those tactics from the Red Sox?
Yeah, it really does. They obviously decided, and it's rare to see the Yankees do this, but you see them get rid of Miller and Chapman and Beltran, but to start to stock up the farm system again, try to work in some younger guys in there. And the Red Sox are familiar with that. Both teams can go and sign the biggest free agents anytime that they want, but they also need to be able to have a strong farm system and a strong, young core. And the Red Sox have that now. That's why I think there is some positive thoughts for the future with Betts and with Bogart, some of the other guys they've mixed in. And I think the Yankees, it was smart for them to sort of look at the landscape of the league right now, see where their team was, so many aging guys. Those were the right baseball moves to make, and I think they did a pretty good job at the deadline.
It's legendary, the rivalry between Boston and the Yankees, and it seems to have lost a little of its luster. Do you think how could we possibly get that back? I mean, after, Boston actually proved itself and, finally ended the drought.
I feel like, it'll never be 03, 04 again. Like, the Red Sox are going to have another 86-year drought, or the Yankees are going to have an 86-year drought. Like, I don't think you can ever go back to that time and have the rivalry be that hot. But, you go back to even like 09, where the Red Sox were in on Mark Teixeira. They thought they were going to be able to get him. He signs with the Yankees. I think you can get back to that, and I wonder if it would have to be another player like, down the road, if Mookie Betts or if Xander Bogaerts elects to sign with the Yankees, if they steal a player away like that, or, if you get a really big personality, like if Bryce Harper, down the line signs with the Yankees, I bet there would start to be more of that hate between the Sox and the Yankees. Like when both teams can, win the World Series in the last, handful of years, it just definitely seems to be less of that rivalry. And I think that's okay. I mean, it was so good in 03 and 04. It's going to be impossible to expect that again. But I think there are other things that can ratchet it up from where it is right now.
Rich Keefe joins us from 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. Rich, the Yankees obviously out of this year. Looks like Boston's going to have a really good shot at taking down the East. But let's move to football. We're also the home of the New York Jets. What's the vibe there in Boston? Is there enough weakness in the Patriots with Brady missing the first 4 games that maybe, just maybe, they don't win the East?
No, still not. I know it sounds kind of homerish or overconfident, but you just look at since Belichick and Brady have been together, it's the Patriots' division to lose. They've only lost it a couple of times. They've had a winning record literally every year since Brady's been the starter. And even with him missing 4 games, I think there's enough confidence in the combination of, Jimmy Garoppolo to a certain extent, but just the other pieces around him, looking at the schedule and knowing that they could even overcome, say, a 2-2 start. I think the one thing that Patriots fans looked at, is when the Jets re-signed Ryan Fitzpatrick. He said, all right, at least they have a legitimate quarterback this year, so they should probably still be the second-best team in the division. It wouldn't be a joke like if they rolled Geno Smith out there or Bryce Petty or Hackenberg, like whatever. It wouldn't have been like that. But I think people here in New England are still really confident that the Pats win the division.
Were you there when Belichick was asked about whether after the first 4 games, if Jimmy's playing well, whether Brady would actually get put back in?
Yeah, and it was kind of the reaction I think that most of us would have had we been asked the question, but it was a little surprising that Belichick would answer it in such a manner. I mean, on the one hand, I sort of cut the guy some slack for asking the question. Reporters and newspaper guys, I mean, are there newspapers? Right, website guys are different than, say, like radio guys, because we can just sort of talk about anything. But newspaper guys and website guys, they need to write these stories and get their quotes and everything else. But no, I think he was dead on with his response to that, being like, "No, we're not. Brady's the quarterback in Week 5." Like there's no debate there.
Rich Keefe, he's on 98.5, the Sports Hub in Boston. You can follow him on Twitter at Keefe21. So, Rich, we have a producer here, producer Gaz, and he added a question onto our list, like our prep list. So I'm going to read this verbatim as he wrote it.
Okay.
Our producer, like yourself, is a former Hobart football player. Are the Statesmen as great as he makes them out to be?
They're better. Whatever he says, they're even better than that. They are an absolute Division III wagon. We had a guy drafted a couple of years ago in the second round. That's hard to beat. No, but in all seriousness, Hobart is a good football school. I like that it looks like they got a better out-of-conference schedule this year, so maybe a little bit more stiffer competition, but it's a nice little school. You guys should go visit it.
It's just amazing, Rich. Any way Gaz can, he works in Hobart like a daily show.
You're like, well, I think we need to have an Allie Marcus segment every other week. You're like, no, we don't.
Yeah, everything. Because the guy who got drafted, what's he play for, like the Bucks or something?
Bucks,
yeah, he's all over that. We have a daily update on him. We found out that you guys throw fish at the Syracuse lacrosse team.
Oh yeah, sure.
So we're pretty up to speed on Hobart here in upstate New York.
Yeah, it's a national treasure. It's tucked away in beautiful Geneva, New York. Another nice spot.
You just made his day.
Yeah. Now we know there's 2 of you at least. Rich, thank you so much for your time. I hope the next time we speak, the Red Sox are not better than my Yankees.
Yeah, it might be a few years. It sounds good.
Oh, all right. Thanks, Rich.
All right, take it easy.